Po raz kolejny w tym roku żeśmy zorganizowali Uniwersytet Letnim we współpracy z Federacją Pro Europa Christiana, który jest zaadresowany do młodych ludzi, głównie studentów zatroskanych o los naszej cywilizacji zachodniej, europejskiej, chrześcijańskie fundamenty właśnie porządku cywilizacyjnego w Europie. Stąd to spotkanie w Niepołomicach na Zamku Królewskim. Program przede wszystkim ma dwie rzeczy wskazać. Z jednej strony ma wskazać źródła tego kryzysu cywilizacyjnego, jaki w obecnej chwili przeżywamy i dlaczego się pojawiają takie zjawiska patologiczne jak legalizacja związków homoseksualnych, aborcja, a z drugiej strony wskazanie środków przeciwdziałania. I tu konkluzja jest jedna, odchodzenie od chrześcijańskich zasad, które były fundamentem cywilizacji w Europie, powodują to, że następuje taka degrengolada społeczeństw i to już nie tylko w sferze religijnej, moralnej, ale również i w sferze politycznej, ekonomicznej i społecznej. Coraz bardziej narasta świadomość, czego tutaj dowodem jest, są liczniejsze grupy studentów uczestniczących w tym uniwersytecie, że odejście właśnie od tych chrześcijańskich fundamentów jest główną przyczyną tego kryzysu, w jakim znajduje się Europa.
March!
If the revolution is disorder, the counter-revolution is the restoration of order. By order, we mean the peace of Christ in the reign of Christ, that is Christian civilization, austere and hierarchical, fundamentally sacred, anti-egalitarian, and anti-liberal. This paragraph of revolution and counter-revolution, certainly one of the most inspired texts by Plinio de Oliveira, should animate the lectures, study circles, and cultural visits at this year's summer university, beginning of the miraculous pilgrim statue of Our Lady of Fatima, thanks to the generous and effective hospitality of the Fundacja Piotr Skarga. Indeed, a return to order is the only solution of to the current crisis, as you can see by the title of the program you have on hand, and which appropriately sums up the set of lectures that will begin here.
We are very honored that you come for the second time to Poland. Some of you are first time, some are the second time. It's a big sign of hope for us, I mean Polish TFP, but also for, I think, for all of us. Because in those difficult days of the revolution, we see that the evil is growing and is manifesting itself in a even very aggressive way. The sins which are crying for vengeance from heaven are committed publicly, are becoming the law in the countries. And the devil tries to tempt us that we are lost, and tries to show us that we are isolated in our countries, that we are the only crazy ones in these countries where the whole world is conquered by the revolution. And here we see it's not true, because we see more and more people. This year we have more participants in our summer university than last year. So it shows that Our Lady is working in our souls and is inspiring us to do her job here on earth, to restore the Christian order. So we shouldn't allow to be tempted and to feel that we are defeated. It's contrary. Our movement is really growing. I can see here in Poland, when we started 12 years ago, we are a very small little organization. Now we are one of the biggest in Poland. We see that we are the TFP, after almost 18 years from after death of Dr. Plinio, is also growing. So even we meet the obstacles, the difficulties, we see that her grace is protecting us. And may this meeting, this conference, be an inspiration for you, for your perseverance in your countries, that there is a kind of counter-revolutionary community which is fighting for her cause. And if we persevere, we'll have a part in the triumph of her Immaculate Heart, which she promised in Fatima. May Our Lady help you. Thank you.
Uniwersytet Letni dla nas, Polaków, jest też ogromną okazją do zapromowania w ogóle Polski. Przytłaczająca większość, myślę, tych uczestników, ona nigdy w Polsce nie była wcześniej. To jest ich pierwszy pobyt w Polsce. Dla niektórych to jest nawet pierwszy pobyt w Europie. W tym roku podzieliliśmy uczestników na dwie grupy. Ci, którzy byli już tutaj rok temu, zwiedzali trochę inne miejsca z Muzeum Malarstwa w krakowskich Sukiennicach na czele. Zwiedzali też kościoły krakowskie. Natomiast ci, którzy byli pierwszy raz, no to oczywiście musieli zobaczyć Wawel, musieli zobaczyć katedrę wawelską, musieli zobaczyć kościół mariacki, centrum miasta, Starówkę, i komu pozwolił czas na to, to jeszcze jakieś tam inne miejsca, inne kościoły, ale głównie chcieliśmy pokazać te najważniejsze miejsca właśnie.
am here as a Christian. I am here as a Catholic. And you know, today, the Catholics are only one family. And when the Catholic people meet, or you are in Africa, or you are in America, or you are in Europe, it's only one family. We go to the Mass. The way of doing the Mass in Africa, here in America, is only the same. So when we meet together, it's to discuss about Catholic issue, and I find this very good. We exchange experiences coming from different countries. That's why I came here to visit my Catholic brother of Poland and to experience what they are doing, and if I can share with them, to bring also my experience so that together we can continue to build this Catholic society, Catholic civilization.
We collected signatures so as to show public opposition to the plan of the government to adopt this civil partnership law, which is basically a one step before homosexual marriage. And we managed to collect about 38,000 signatures in a population of 1 million. So it is probably one of the largest, if not the largest, collection of signatures against any law of all the time in Estonia. So we delivered the signatures to the parliament in the month of May, and thereafter the government also made the public know that they don't aim to proceed with the draft law for the time being. So definitely the fight is not over, but I guess we have gained a small victory in this battle. But of course, yes, we will be very happy to share our experience with the people we meet here this year, so as to tell them also that if we could do it in Estonia, surely you can do it in other countries where you have much more Catholics, much more Christians in general. I very much hope that this same movement will spring up in different countries all over Europe. We see already this year that the Dutch are planning to start an initiative, the Hungarians are planning to start an initiative, the Croats are beginning an initiative. So in various countries people will start standing up for traditional values, and that's a great service the TFP has done to many societies in Europe, I think.
Udało się zorganizować również uczczenie figury Matki Boskiej Fatimskiej, tej cudownej figury, która kiedyś w 1972 roku zapłakała w Nowym Orleanie. Ta figura była z nami przez kilka dni tutaj na Uniwersytecie Letnim, a w sobotę 27 lipca udało się zorganizować uczczenie tej figury w parafii świętego Antoniego w Krakowie, w Bronowicach. Tam z kolei zaprosiliśmy naszych przyjaciół, darczyńców, dobrodziejów naszego instytutu i odbyło się tam takie długie, dość kilkugodzinne, nocne nabożeństwo maryjne.
So we need to return to order because the revolution has destroyed the Christian civilization. It has scrambled everything up, made a real mess of things. Our noble purpose is to put this order back, to reconstruct the map. Now, this is not an easy thing because there is so little left of our Christian order. It would be as if I were to take the text of this talk and mix it up with another talk full of heresies and errors and shred the talk into little pieces. I mean, we might be able to recognize some words or maybe a paragraph or two of that order, but we really never have that notion of the whole that we need. And so in a similar way, the elements of Christian order have been scrambled and mixed with revolutionary and secular ideas. This has been done in every field. In the economy, there's the influence of frenetic intemperance mixed with sound economic doctrines. In society, the sexual revolution of the 60s has done much to destroy that framework of social mores, norms, and manners that once ruled. And finally, the crisis inside the church has contributed much to bring about confusion over morals, doctrines, and the faith that normally should serve to orient and guide us toward our final goal of heaven. So in the midst of this confusion, there are many who are struggling to pick up the pieces of this lost order in one field or another. But what we need is that full perspective. And unless we have an understanding of that highest cause of things, these efforts of reconstruction will inevitably fail. The key is putting things back together. The key is wisdom. It was this framework that so enthralled Professor Plinio Correia de Oliveira, who made of this return to a Christian order the purpose of his life. He famously wrote, "When still very young, I marveled at the ruins of Christendom. I gave them my heart, I turned my back on all I could expect, and made of that past so full of blessings my future." So it is in this tradition that we follow in Professor Plinio's footsteps in working for the restoration of a social order so full of blessings, by first restoring that vision of wisdom that serves as the foundation of an organic Christian society.
In order to make counter-revolution in the world, we have to make it in ourselves first. And to wage this interior struggle, to refuse all revolutionary pleasures, we need a strong spiritual life. We need prayer, the sacraments, and piety in order to survive temptations that will likely become stronger as soon as we decide to fight the revolution. Only after we win this internal war with the devil will we be ready to fight on the huge worldwide battlefield. I guess you have often observed how much fear and fury the children of the revolution show in their eyes when they are told that they are sinning. For example, observe homosexuals. Oh, this is the moment when they panic. We have seen it in the United States, we have seen it in Brazil, we have seen it even here, in Poland. But, going back to the essence of this lecture, how can we fight sin in others when we have made an interior alliance with it? This is why we have to remember the serious words of our Lord Jesus Christ. Take the beam out of thy own eye first, and so thou shalt have clear sight to rid thy brothers of the speck. And in order to do this, gentlemen, the answer is once again the same: prayer, sacraments, piety.
Well, I think it's great. There's a lot of hospitality. It's also very much fun to talk with people and have good conversations with people from other nations, and it's also intellectually quite stimulating. Just to hear the lectures and talk about it in a group and talk about it afterwards when you're having a drink. So we are all very different, from different nations, different backgrounds, but we share the same strong convictions, and that sort of facilitates a very deep discussion in which you share a lot, but you also see the differences in your background, and you can share a lot of information and compare with each other your situations and your thoughts and your cultures.
Jestem tutaj pierwszy raz i bardzo się cieszę, że mogłem być uczestnikiem tej konferencji. Można dowiedzieć się niesamowicie dużo na temat bieżących spraw społecznych, religijnych. Spotykamy ludzi, którzy podobnie myślą, którzy mają taką samą hierarchię wartości, są z przeróżnych krajów z całej Europy i spoza Europy, i to dodaje nam takiej otuchy i siły na działanie.
You had come with certain expectations to this place, to a week-long seminar of the European TFPs, and they may have been very different. But just the fact that you came here already is the consequence of a grace that you've received beforehand. You wanted to hear and discover more about the struggle between Our Lady and the devil, between the Catholic Church and the anti-Christian revolution, about the TFPs, their vocation, and their counter-revolutionary work. In this summer university, we then studied the tricks and arts the devil and revolution employ and how to destroy them. We are now convinced that even with a very small number of soldiers, we can raise up against the devil's revolutionary machinery and introduce, like into a gearbox, in it the sand of Catholic truth, the sand of problems of conscience, the sand of fear of the revolution's ultimate goals, the sand of longings for our Christian past. And this sand forces the machinery to run much slower and provokes internal conflicts in the mechanism, like disagreements between the radical and the moderate revolutionary currents, until the moment when Our Lady will have mercy on us and will command the angels to descend and deliver us from the infernal power of revolution. This is our vocation, to make happen the promise of Our Lady made at Fatima, so that her Immaculate Heart may triumph. And I invite you today to follow us in this struggle.
Dignare me pugnare pro te, Virgo Sacrata.
Domini